here and pay attention, okay? All right, here we go. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, bearing true faith and allegiance. Okay, it's no problem, Parker. Bearing true faith and allegiance to the same. I am a citizen of the United States, volunteering my time in the local community forces that guard our community's most vulnerable people and places and our way of life. I am prepared to give my life in their defense. I will follow the general orders while on Overwatch, which is to do the following. WARDS. This is an acronym, okay? Watch, assess, report, deny entry, and stop the threat, right? Here we go. Silent Cowboy Storm. Should non-combative vets engage in firefight? Yes. You guys who are just combat arms, you got combat arms, combat support, combat service support. How it used to be when I was in the military, right? I'm not even going to that whole thing because that's a thing too, right? Here we go. I am not a law enforcement officer or an emergency medical technician or paramedic if applicable. I will not engage in stopping any physical altercations, fights, or medical emergencies that occur on or off the property. I will notify authorities and emergency medical services if there are any events requiring their services. Silence and secrecy will be my watchword and is a force multiplier. I will not broadcast my presence during Overwatch. I will blend in with the environment. If legally armed, I will not display firearms openly unless expressly allowed by law. If legally armed, I will not step onto the property legally declared as a gun-free zone except to deny entry. Listen to the rest of it, Jacob. Shut up. You just got into the room. You're just like a motherfucking Marine who doesn't listen. And I'm not saying all Marines fit that bill, but you definitely fit that bill, okay? If legally armed, I will not step onto property legally declared as a gun-free zone except to deny entry and stop a deadly threat from entering the property. If a deadly threat enters the school or property, I will exercise sole authority and legal responsibility for my actions to stop the deadly threat from harming others. I will, at the first opportunity available, entertain the suggestion to attend a private security officer course and any other training my specific community and in that jurisdiction needs to gain the knowledge needed to exercise my volunteer duty. I will not accept monetary donations, but will accept resources, training, tools, and or equipment necessary to carry out my volunteer duty. I will have all necessary equipment needed to carry out my duty within reach for immediate action, rapid deployment. Said equipment shall be serviceable and covert. I will not broadcast the equipment to others physically while on or around any site where Project Veteran Overwatch volunteer members are providing Overwatch services and intervention services, right? I will only carry tools and equipment allowed by law to carry or deploy while on Overwatch. I am solely responsible for acquiring and maintaining certifications in the use of any equipment. Yes, that's the whole point. You got it. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay. I will only carry tools and equipment allowed by law to carry or deploy while on Overwatch. I am solely responsible for acquiring and maintaining certifications in the use of any equipment deemed necessary to carry out my volunteer duty. Upon the decision to deny entry or stop the deadly threat, I will immediately, if able to, wear highly visible emblems, patches, shirts, vest, or any other visible clothing items identifying me as a guard, watcher, veteran overwatcher, or any equivalent words identifying me as a volunteer of Project Veteran Overwatch to any citizens and or responding law enforcement. I will not identify as law enforcement unless I am duly sworn with credentials on my person, nor will I in any manner imply that I am an employee or agent of a governmental agency or display a badge or identification card, emblem, or uniform citing the words police, sheriff, highway patrol trooper, law enforcement, or any similar term. Hear this. Good deal, please. That's what I'm talking about. You're doing that in Delaware. I love that. Thank you. Here we go. I will not identify as, I just said that. Okay. I will discontinue my volunteer service if I feel or am told by a competent fellow veteran overwatcher I cannot successfully carry out my duty. I will not argue, debate, fight, coerce, or complain about another fellow veteran overwatcher's request to cease and desist service. I will discontinue my volunteer service at a specific location if I am told to leave the property or area. I will not force my service upon anyone. I will not argue, debate, fight, coerce, or complain about another citizen's request to cease and desist service. I am aware that one can legally act and still be arrested. I am aware that the decision to arrest me remains the decision of local, county, state, and our federal law enforcement. Should I be arrested, I will not resist arrest. I will consult the services of an attorney and follow their legal advice should said advice be in my best interest. I will not remain on or near places disallowed by law. Here's the reason why I said that. If a person by law is prohibited from being on the property, they cannot be effective in veteran overwatch. It will taint the initiative. We do not want to come off as some kind of mercenaries, right? Here we go. And that was what I had in mind when I wrote this stuff, right? Here we go. I agree that I recognize I am under no obligation to intervene. I further recognize that I am acting on my own free will and accord without any hesitation or reservation of mine. I agree that my services are strictly voluntary and in the best interest of my community. Should I bear any malice aforethought in the exercise of my volunteer duties or violate any of the above affirmations, I shall immediately cease and desist from Project Veteran Overwatch duties in the interest of the public and the initiative. Okay, those of you all who were there during the entire reading, what do you think about, you said, Mike, I'm in Baltimore County overwatching the 2 schools within walking distance of my home. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, calling me, how are you? Yes, I did write all that. Yes, I did. And I have the proof to be able to prove it. Yes, I did write all that. Yes. Because I didn't want to make it too long, but I want to make it where it hits the points. You know, now, of course, this is, again, a veteran-led community, driven or community-involved initiative. Add to, take away, whatever. But I know if it's coming back on me, I want to be able to say, this is what I structured this around to say, look, take a security course so that you understand the law in your area, right? You should make a book for us to get. Yes, I am going to put that. I'll probably just put that in a PDF and just email it to people, you know. You said this is a dangerous situation. People with bad intentions can pose as vet Overwatch. Okay, so if they got bad intentions, right? If they